Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the NASCAR Heat 5 Clint Bowyer season mode. And I want to apologize for all the recording issues I had at Watkins Glen with the choppy footage. Believe it or not, it was not lagging on my end, but the recording was lagging. Hopefully, some settings I changed around for this race will fix that. But anyway, 25th race of the season for December 25th, heading on to Dover with a screwed-up race because, it's not the 50th anniversary of Dover anymore. But we have a 309-point gap above Kyle Busch, who resides second in points. I've got 10 wins, 22 stage wins to his 1 win, and 5 stage wins. But it looks like he will have a pretty easy time gaining some points on me at Dover, because I don't expect to be very good here. Back in the spring race, Martin Truex Jr. won and gained a lot of points on me. This might be a good opportunity for Kyle Busch if he doesn't throw it away. But take a look at the right side of the screen when it comes to the points. Chase Elliott needs a win to even make it in to the playoffs at this point. There's only 2 races left. He either has to do it at Dover or Daytona. And I'm going to be pretty quick at Daytona. I'm not going to let him pull off an upset win there if I can, at the very least. I'm hoping to avenge my failure there in the Daytona 500 when I came up in second. We still have 13 race winners on the season. Kurt Busch, Kevin Harvick, and Alex Bowman are the only drivers in points who have not yet scored a win. Matt Kenseth, most notably, scored the win at Kentucky, which might end up being his final career win. We'll see. William Byron and Alex Bowman are battling for the final transfer spot, with Byron within just 30 points of the position on his teammate Bowman. Now let's get on to race number 25 from Dover. All right, well, the pole speed is a 22.983. I don't think we'll be anywhere near that. And I already screwed up turn 1. Here we come. Pretty far off the pole, but we qualify in 15th. That's good enough for here. I'm just hoping to keep the fenders on the thing and not spin out twice coming down to pit road like I did in the last race here. Anyway, Joey Logano, he finished runner-up to me last week at Watkins Glen. He qualifies on the pole. Second place, Denny Hamlin. Then Kyle Busch in 6th. Where's Truex? 21st. Come on, you won here in the spring. Chad Fincham rounds out the field. But, really, Truex, 21st position in qualifying? No way. Anyway, let's get on with the race and check out the top stories. No one in front of me had to fall back. Chad Fincham didn't have a good practice session. Joey Logano won the pole, and Joey Gase failed tech. I wouldn't expect a Rick Ware car to fail technical inspection. They're not the team that tries to cheat for an advantage. If they are cheating, it's hurting them.
We're going green. Be ready here. Green out, let's go.
All right, so let's see how stage 1 is set up for us. 20 laps on fuel, 18 laps in the stage.
Bottom's looking good.
All right, we're getting around Blaney. Still loose off. And after the first lap, we're up to 8th. You know, my big problem with Dover is the car always feels loose tight. There you saw Newman just about lost it. But I want to know from some people who are actually good at this game, how do you drive this place? I think Dover is the one track I haven't figured out how to drive at all. That and maybe Iowa. And the worst track for the difference between the player and the AI, though, is actually Texas. That one, I feel like I have a pretty good understanding of how to drive Texas, but just the AIs are on the ethereal plane, and I can't reach that high. However, Dover, I just flat out don't think I understand how to run here. I'm running down Kurt Busch, though.
That was a great lap.
So that's good news, but that's probably just because he was running the top. There's Kyle Busch up in front of me, starting to drop back a little. As you can tell by the oil temperature, I really can't bump up the tape any, because then we'd be, you know, a little bit too hot.
Still there.
Okay, Truex. Look at him go.
All right, you're clear.
Up to my bumper for 7th. He was just faking out. He was sandbagging with that qualifying time, wasn't he?
Got one down low now. Bottom 3.
Making NASCAR think there wasn't something illegal about that 19. Because he is on a rail.
Inside.
I mean, I couldn't even fight him. My car is so bad, but look at him go. Whatever he's got, I need some of that in my life. I need some of that Dover speed in my life. And to elaborate what I think fixed the lag issues that I was having, it's something that some adjustments I made to my webcam settings was screwing it up to where the computer had to spend, you know, more, you know, CPU usage on recording than normal. But I set those settings back to default, and it seems like if we, you know, knock on wood, that we're not having any lag issues as of yet. And if we do, it'll be on my end, not just the recordings. This is one poor handling race car. The guys behind me are still catching me. Jimmy Johnson's back there, so is Kevin Harvick. Harvick's having a very off season. I think what happened was I stole all his equipment. I did the Mario Andretti thing and take one name tag and put it on the other engine.
Inside.
So, you know, you swap all the Harvick and Clint Bowyer engines, then you get Clint Bowyer winning 10 races a season, Harvick with 0. And I could tell I just had a lag spike on the recording, so if anyone can help me with this, I'd like to know, because I don't know what's going on. I think NASCAR Heat 5 is finally getting to my computer. It's just telling me, like, hey, listen, it's degrading your mental health. Stop this. And what's unfortunate about NASCAR Heat 5 is I don't have a physical copy. So it's not like I could take my aggression out on anything anyway. Oh, geez. I touched the apron and the car just shot straight up. I'll be honest with you, I don't even really know what to do to this car when it comes to the setup. You know, the in-race adjustments. Because I don't think any bit of wedge adjustment is going to help me, although I'm going to try and tighten the car up a little. But because it's loose tight, you know, it feels like everything you do will affect it both ways. Look at that slow car. Messing with these guys. Apron. Yes. Mission succeed.
All clear.
Yeah, this car is just sucking right now.
Left. Stay calm.
Jeff Gordon had to tell me to stay calm. Go figure.
Got one inside. All clear. Hold your line. Got one inside.
Somebody's being blocked by Fincham.
Inside.
Oh, geez. I was not looking at my fuel situation at all. Didn't even realize I had to pit. Well, maybe. Maybe I don't have to. Oh, geez. Johnson. Oh, my goodness. He's gone. We just witnessed the passing of Jimmy Johnson. At Dover, no less.
Coming to the green.
Terrible retirement season. Oh my goodness. Well, I know what the thumbnail is now, but That was horrible.
Clear all around. Car high. Careful.
Oh, good for me. The second stage is 38 laps.
Stay on the bottom here.
Great. What am I even doing trying to challenge for the lead?
Clear high, bud.
You.
Outside, outside.
I hate everything about this racetrack.
Now. Got one inside. Clear high, bud.
Joey.
Got one inside.
Okay, there we go. I at least can say I led a lap. Now I gotta stop fighting those who I should not be fighting. I'm fighting a weight class much bigger than me. See that? You give Joey a bump, he speeds up. Physiques.
Hard from the outside. Outside. All right, you're clear.
Well, I got the opportunity to put Truex into the wall there, so that was a little cool. I have to start letting people by at some point. How about this? If somebody wants to pass me on the outside, they can just go ahead. And you know, seriously, this is a message to anybody watching this. Can anybody give me some tips about Dover? Because even though I'll probably never run here again in this game, because this series is only a one-season deal, I still want to know, for my own sanity, how to run this place properly. The funny thing is, in the truck series, it's pretty drivable, because I've actually ran here in the truck before, but in the Cup car, just no thank you. It's terrible.
Use it if you need it. Inside. Clear all around.
Well, I just about crowded everyone there, and still couldn't make the corner. So that was
Got one
a
down low.
really productive corner, wasn't it? Truex, really?
Outside now.
Really? Just gonna act like none of that even happened.
Car outside. Hold the wheel.
I'm losing my patience for this. Jeez. Alright.
Halfway mark.
Time to settle in. Hopefully. Alright, I'll be honest with you. I hope in this race we get a bunch of yellows. Because that would give me more opportunities to get on fresh tires. Because you can see how undrivable this gets as the tires degrade beyond, like, the 10th lap. So if I can get, say, an end of the race restart, and I restart in, like, 10th, I think I could finish, like, 2nd or 3rd. But if the race just runs a 20-lap stint to the finish, I'd end up finishing probably 20th. You know, it's that bad on old tires. Whoa, whoa, okay. No thank you. Yeek. I'm just going to be making a bunch of vowel noises this whole race. Yeah, I changed my mind about, like, Pocono and Texas and all them. Dover is, like, the least fun track to race on. Either this or Kentucky, because, well, Kentucky, you know what? I just wasn't quick there. This is just flat out annoying. Like, it's getting to be that bad. I'm going to put some wedge in the car to see how it handles. But this is bad. The Penske car is leading the field with Brad and Joey 1-2.
Coming to the green, driver. Almost ready. Green out, let's go.
All right, 21 laps remaining in the stage. 20 laps on gas. So you know what that means, right? Try to save.
Careful, still there.
Did you know it's really difficult to save here? Like, remarkably difficult. So my goal for this stage is to not drop one lap down and to hopefully save my way to the finish.
Stay on the bottom.
I'm running Kenseth a little bit too hard there. Anyway, I got back onto the throttle to run just a couple quicker laps. Because I might have been trying to save a little bit too early. At least that was my concern.
You're outside. All right, you're clear. Hold your line. Got one outside.
Okay, interesting. I'm pitting because this car will not handle otherwise. Sure, I'm going to restart in 31st, but I need the tires anyway.
All right.
A lot of good cars came down with me, like Truex and Bowman, so
Car high.
they know how it is.
All right, you're clear.
9 laps remaining in the stage.
All clear.
That's about how long my car stays somewhat drivable, so
All right, you're clear.
let's hope to make something out of this.
Car on the outside now.
Alright, so I'm going to try and make my way into the top 10 right here.
Still there.
There we go. Even though I'm on fresh tires, I'm finally up into a points-paying position and hoping to keep it.
All the way to the wall.
Okay, so just 5 laps remaining. Now going to be 4 at the start-finish line. I'm catching up to Stenhouse and Kyle Busch.
Still there. Clear low, buddy.
Ooh, look at that.
High. Clear high. Got a car
That's what tires will do. It'll give you the ability to do something like that.
You got
I'm up to
room.
5th.
You're clear.
And this is the very reason why I want a late race restart. Is because I drove from 31st up to here with the tires, so the car could do something pretty good late in the run.
Leader's pitting.
Leader's pitting. What?
Car in front of you pitting this time.
We'll talk about a fake out, because he didn't.
White flag is in the air.
You know, I was expecting that to get the 4-car loose, not to speed him up.
The leader's hitting pit road this time.
Yeah, I don't believe you, Jeff. I don't think he's coming to pit road.
That car ahead of you is pitting.
Oh, wait, really? Wait, why couldn't Joey make it a half a lap? Out of gas. Oh, man. Anyway, 3rd place in the stage. If we would have got one more lap, they would have ran out. So that's quite a few stage points to make in a racetrack that you hate and can't drive at, isn't it? So anyway, fresh tires, let's get on with it. I managed to pass Kevin Harvick off pit road. So I'm hoping to pull a similar strategy to get to the end of the race.
Car down the inside. You're all clear on the bottom.
As you can tell, I've got quite the restart gear. Which is why if we get a 2-lap to go restart, I would be unstoppable. Okay. The thing is loose. I'm going to need a well-timed caution at the end of this stage to make things interesting. Because otherwise it's going to be a pretty steady decline for me. Because I'm not going to be able to keep this lead forever. And, you know, Denny, Martin, Kevin, all those guys, they're going to blow right by me pretty quick. Especially with this car driving the way it is. Oh, who's that taking second? Yeah, that's Martin Truex Jr. Is he trying to sweep it? I'll tell you what, though, the battle for second in points between him and Kyle Busch has been amazing this season. You know, back and forth constantly. Been pretty interesting to see those two go at it. Even though that Truex has twice the amount of wins as Kyle Busch. Busch is actually still in second with Truex in 3rd in points. As I just left the bottom open for the 19.
Car car there on the inside. Clear low, bud. Got one inside. All right, you're clear. Inside.
You see, I can hold the lead for a little while, can't I? That's what I want to happen at the end of the race is, you know, a late race restart, fresh tires, all that, because it seems like I can hold the lead for a good 10 laps. So if it was just 2 laps to go, you know, I'd be in good shape.
All clear. Got a car low now.
And of course, when Truex takes the lead, he goes to the top to taunt me. But if you recall from the spring race, whoa, jeez. I hopped a seam and the car wanted to spin into 3. But if you recall from the spring race, me and Truex were battling for the lead. He just beat me on the outside. He flat out passed me on a lane that doesn't even really make sense to pull off a pass on. I mean, you can run the top at Dover, don't get me wrong, but it's not a really easy thing to do. Well, that wasn't exactly the well-timed caution that I wanted, because that's a little early for the yellow that I need. Because we still have to make one more pit stop. But look at that, a couple cars stayed out. We got Custer, Jones, Priest, and Gase. Gase is going to be the slowest, but of course he's in my lane.
Hammer down, grease out, inside.
Yeah, we definitely got the restart gear, don't we?
All right, you're clear.
Unfortunately, I can't save like 5.5 laps of gas to get to the end, but it'd be fun if I could. I'm really proud of Custer and Jones. They've been stalling out the whole field. Harvick now 3 seconds behind me in second spot. Chase Elliott's putting up a good effort to try and lock himself in. You know, if he could win it, he could do it. I'm in the hunt to win this race if the strategy works out in my favor, but it looks like it probably won't. Because more or less my strategy is a blind luck caution within the next few laps.
Yellow's out, backer down.
Are you kidding me? Okay. All right, I lost 14 spots, but that's the usual for my pit crew, so I can deal with it with this good restart speed.
Grease out. Car on the outside now.
17 to go in the race.
Got one up top. Clear high, bud. Outside, outside. Careful, still there. All clear. Careful, still there. Clear high, bud. Got one up top.
Whoa, okay. That was a bad idea. Now, if I had to pick between those two drivers in front of me, of who I'd rather have win, I'd say Joey. Because they're both, you know, second best on wins when it comes to me. I got 10 and they both have 2. I can see that Truex is actually getting slowed up by Joey. So it looks like Martin might be able to take the lead pretty good right here. Well, I shouldn't say pretty good. I should say pretty easily. As, there we go, 19 to the lead.
Car outside. Hold your line.
And that means that Joey has failed me.
Still there. All clear. Inside. All right, clear low.
Oh, okay. I wasn't quite expecting that, but this might be stupid of me. But I gotta do it. I gotta throw it out there.
All right, you're coming to the green. Are you ready? Green's out. Let's go.
Nine laps.
Clear.
I think I can do it. Blicky's screwing with me.
Still there. All right, you're clear.
I think Brad just took the lead off Truex. Truex became an idiot and took the top.
Still there.
Brad took the bottom. Had a good run going. Oh, geez, that's not a good lap time.
Got a car high now.
That was a slide job if I ever seen one.
Inside.
Okay, loose.
Inside. White flag. Next time by. Car there on the inside.
Wow, I think tape made this car worse.
Careful. Still there. Got a
You
car
kidding me?
low now. Inside. All right, you're clear.
Okay, 11th spot. Honestly, I still think I finished better by pitting than I would have without. You know, 11th position might not be that good, but good news is Truex did not sweep, and I got quite a few stage points in stage number 2, and I brought home in a half-decent position. My goal, more or less, at this season is to not finish any race worse than 14th, which so far has been my worst finish of the year, with the exception of my DNF at Texas. So that's been my worst finish still running. So just take a look at how Jimmie Johnson went airborne. So he's sliding back down the track after blowing a tire, gets hit by his teammate Byron, and gets sent into space. Johnson ends his final career race at Dover on his lid. Wow. Imagine if this was how it went in reality. If it was that much of a sad note to end your career at one of your best tracks. And look at how this shot gets taken up. Yep. Just straight in front of the camera. So tell me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's the first flip of this whole series. Anyway, brought home in 11th position. Got a speed rating of 103. The race winner, Brad Keselowski. At least he beat out Martin Truex Jr. So that means we have 3 drivers with 2 wins, BK, Joey, and Martin. I have 10 wins on the season, though. So I'm not very disappointed with my 11th place finish. By the way, Stenhouse with yet another top 10. Who got last? Well, of course, it'd be Jimmie Johnson after flipping upside down. And there's the point gap. I currently have 1,174 points to Kyle Busch's 871, as Busch still remains in second. Last in points, Bobby Carter. 20 points, the margin between Gase and Carter. So anyway, the fastest lap was set by Joey Logano. Pretty close to a 23 flat. Joey led the most laps, but he definitely didn't end up in victory lane. On the move was Martin Truex Jr. Started 21st, finished second. Glad he did not win. And tough break goes to Reddick. Started 18th, finished 39th. You know, Jimmie Johnson was having actually a pretty good race before his whole race fell apart. And if you recall back to the spring race at Dover when Brad Keselowski blew a tire in a similar fashion to Jimmy Johnson, but he didn't go upside down. But BK comes back in a very strong fashion, comes back in the fall race to win it. All right, so the point gap is down to 303 points. And so you know what that means? Even though I finished 11th, had a hard time that whole race, Kyle Busch only gained 6 points on me. So as you know, I like to keep the gains as small as possible, and I'd say 6 points gained, that's a success at Dover. Even though I only finished 11th, I did pull off a third place finish in that stage due to fuel strategy, so that is why the margin is not that big. Anyway, in the playoff standings, with Jimmy Johnson's last place finish, he now falls behind Chase Elliott in the standings. Elliott needs to win, pretty much, to make the playoffs at this point. He needs to get the win at Daytona. Same situation for Johnson, Bell, Custer, Suarez, and McLeod. And pretty much the same situation, honestly, for Jones, Stenhouse, and Reddick, because being 132 points out of making it in, it's mathematically possible, from what I recall, to make it that far out, but the odds are so low. You more or less have to win every single stage and pretty much win the race, so that means you need to win. The only driver who can really mathematically make it in on points is William Byron, but to do that, he would have to knock out his teammate Alex Bowman. And actually, you know what that means? It looks like we are going to have one Hendrick Motorsports car in the playoffs this season. That is not very good, because we have Elliott, Johnson, and Byron on the outside looking in. And except for Byron and Bowman, who could theoretically make it in on points, if anybody else wins, that might mean that we don't have a single Hendrick car in the playoffs. Now, what I kind of want to do, even though he's a teammate, is knock Kevin Harvick out of Daytona. Because if we could get, say, Byron, or, hey, best case scenario, we get BJ McLeod to win at Daytona, that's another driver that could be eliminated in the first round. And we wouldn't have to worry about Kevin Harvick making it pretty deep. So that might be the plan entering Daytona. So anyway, the next race is race number 26, the Coke Zero Sugar 400 from Daytona, the final race of the regular season to set the playoff grid at Darlington. And I will see you there. And remember, have a good holiday season.